No, 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 no. They don't know none. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. They don't know none. When I was 5, I would practice to be the first black James Bond.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Soft Chaos. Chaos FC in particular. So this is gonna be our final episode for Chaos FC for this season. Of course, new episodes will come back next season, so that will probably be sometime around August August, because World Cup is June, July, so August. I hope you guys are having a good day. And before we get into it, because I want this video to be kind of quick, I want you guys to go like, share, and subscribe, and we'll get right into it. So as usual, I'll do the Liverpool review, and because it's the end of the season, I'm just gonna, after that, I'll talk about changes, hopes for next season, outlook for the summer and the transfer window, and all of that stuff. I'm gonna be quick with the Liverpool. Our last 4 games were against Man U away, against Chelsea at home, against Aston Villa away, and against Brentford at home. And we got 0 wins out of those last 4 games. We lost to Man U 3-2, very close game, but we lost. We drew to Chelsea 1-1. We lost to Aston Villa. That was just a disgraceful game. I was really man, whatever. We lost 4-2, and we drew to Brentford 1-1. Like I wrote down here, it was a disappointing end to the season. We had 4 games to go, and we lost 2 of those games and drew the other 2 games. In my opinion, we were lucky to qualify for the Champions League. In my opinion, we were actually lucky because I think we were lucky in the sense that we had done some of the hard work earlier in the season, because towards the latter end of the season we were atrocious. And so that's it for pretty much for covering the last 4 games Liverpool had to play. So I'm gonna go ahead now and we'll talk about the rest of the season. So we'll start. Pep resigns after 10 years of managing the Premier League. He leaves with a trophy count of 20 trophies. So that's about, he was in the Premier League for 10 years. 20 trophies means he averaged about 2 trophies a season, which is not bad. Out of those 20 trophies, one of them is a Champions League, one of them is a Super Cup. He won first manager and first club to win the Premier League back to back 4 times. I think in total he has like 7 Premier League titles, because we won 2, Arsenal just won this year. So in total, out of the 10 seasons, he won 7 of the Premier League titles, multiple FA Cups, multiple Carabao Cups, all of that's good stuff. So it's been a great career for him, and in my opinion, he's leaving the Premier League as one of the best, if not the best manager to ever manage in the Premier League, to ever do it in the Premier League. Then we go to Robertson, Robbo. He's leaving at the end of the season. I think it was confirmed that he's already signed a deal with Tottenham. I don't really know how I feel about that, but I also am not mad that Robbo is leaving. He's been a good soldier. and yeah, I just want him to have a good time. I wish him nothing but success, if I'm being honest. He also got a good send off on the last day. He and Salah got a guard of honor from the Brentford team on the last day. Um, yeah, it was a lovely send off, and he also got a mural in the city, which I think he deserved, more than deserves. So yeah, and same for Salah as well. Salah also did his send off. Of course, he announced earlier in the season that he was gonna be leaving. Um, although I've been hearing some messed up rumors that he might be interested in coming back now that Slot has been fired. I would really hate that because I think it's going to really damage us in the long term. In my opinion, I've already said this before and I'll say it again. I think Salah should have left last season. I think Salah should have left last season. He would have left with a better legacy, and it would have meant FSG would have gotten on their ass to try and sort out his position. But as it stands right now, we have people in there are players that they're looking at to buy, and my hope is that next season Ngomoa gets more playtime on the left and Elliot gets more playtime on the right. One of the few things I think was a mistake that I really I don't know who made that decision, whether it was Slot or it was the or Edwards or whoever, was the decision to let Elliot go on a transfer, on a loan deal, and just have him languish in Aston Villa. The guy has barely played the whole season, and Elliot is a fantastic player in my opinion. So I think he needs to come back, and he needs to. I always thought Elliot would be not the main man on the right when Salah goes, but I figured he would be the guy who the person they buy will have to compete with, right? So, and I hope that's the case. Arne Slot, Arne Slot. I'm not mad that he got fired. I wouldn't have also been upset if they gave him another year because, again, like I said before, he's won the Premier League. I'm not too mad at that. But Jesus, is his football boring and annoying as hell. His football is annoying and just disgusting to watch. Half the time the team is passing the ball back. There's no bite. Not even, let's not even talk about real bite. There's no bite. It's like everyone just became pussy. Like nobody really wants to run, nobody really wants to attack. Everything is just dull. Like, so I don't know. I'm not mad that the only thing that I would say that upset me was if they knew they were gonna fire Slot, you could have done it earlier. That way we could have gotten Alonso or a player, and not that I don't like Iraola, who apparently is the person they are looking at to replace Slot. I think he's a fantastic coach. My only problem is Iraola hasn't really managed a club of this level, so I don't really know if he can do it at this level. Like Liverpool is not Bournemouth or whoever else he's managed, but I do think he will do a good job. I like his playing style. I like his management style. So let's see. Let's see what he's able to do. But yeah, I think he's fine. I think most Liverpool fans would say they're happy with that, and I'm not mad at it either. Konate, you know what? I don't even know why I put Konate down here. I don't really care. I like Konate. I would have loved for him to stay and be the future of Liverpool's defense, but clearly he's not interested in that, and I couldn't be fucking bothered. If you really wanna know, I couldn't be bothered. So yeah, you can go. You don't want to sign. I don't really care. Go. Arsenal finally they won a trophy after what 22 years. I think they said, and after coming second 3 times in a row, but they finally won the trophy. Um, I think we could all see that. We could all see that we're gonna win it. Although what's so funny is that Man City still ended the season with 2 trophies. So technically, they did the English double technically. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it with Arsenal. Congratulations. Happy you guys lost the Champions League final because Jesus Christ, fuck, couldn't deal with that. And for those of you who are already doing this weird comparison to Klopp, calm down, okay? Klopp is not your mate, all right? He's not. Relax. Um, and then we have Man City. I think I already spoke about Man City. Um, Even though they were not really playing well this season, they still managed to win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I think they got crushed by Real Madrid or somebody in the Champions League, and they just seem to keep dropping the ball. I think throughout this season, they were only on the top of the table for like a week throughout the full 38-week season. So it was a bit underwhelming to say the least. But again, like I said, they walked away with 2 trophies, so it wasn't really underwhelming. Man U, very good improvement from last season. I'll give them that. From 15th to 3rd. I think getting rid of what's his name, Amorim, was definitely a good idea, and Carrick seems to have the chops to get the job done, and I am glad they offered him a full-time manager role for next season. Even though I've been hearing a lot of flack from Man U fans who feel like he's not gonna be able to handle what's required of him next season, which I think is a whole load of bullshit because I don't really know where you're getting that estimation from. He's been doing an amazing job. So I don't know. I just think it's like I don't know, maybe because they're a big club they feel like they need to have a big manager. I don't really get that logic. You have a manager that is doing well, that propelled you from where you were to third on the table, guaranteed Champions League. Give the guy a chance. I think he will actually be good. Um Aston Villa. Yeah, I know I predicted we'll finish ahead of them, but it is what it is. They did win. I think they won Europa League, so they're definitely. I mean, they already had the position like fourth on the table, but they won Europa League, so they're definitely going up. I also want to talk about Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner has done an amazing job with that club, and I think if they know what's good for them, they need to retain him because I heard he was supposed to be leaving at the end of this season. They need to retain him, and they need to give him money to get some players in that squad because within 2 seasons, this man has won Crystal Palace, a team that has never won a trophy in their existence, and this guy has won them 3. Last season he won them the FA Cup. Yeah, yeah, he won them the FA Cup. They beat us in the Community Shield, so they got the Community Shield, and now they won the Conference League. So that's 3 trophies in the span of like 2 seasons. Like your first 3 trophies for your club. So you've won 2 English trophies and 1 European trophy. I think he doesn't need to prove a lot more. You guys should put your money where your mouth is and make sure you lock that guy down. Chelsea, I don't really care. Chelsea is Chelsea. They've spent 2 billion and they still don't know what they're gonna do with their squad. They spent 2 billion to finish 9th or 10th on the table. There's really not much to say. I think they should go and find Abramovich and sell the club back to him, because these American guys, I don't think they know what they're doing. And now they signed Alonso. I just hope it's not gonna be a big mistake, because no, let's see. I'm not really tripping. I don't think signing Alonso is what's gonna change it. I think it's a I think Chelsea's problem is a issue with the culture at the top, highest level of decision making. Broly and all those guys involved, they see Chelsea as like they wanna really market and commercialize and profitize off of the company like it's an American franchise. You can do that, but only to a certain extent, in my opinion, anyways, with English football. And I know because Liverpool is owned by American owners, and they tried to do that shit, and it didn't work out. It took them reeling back and really zoning in on what works in English football for them to get it right. So yeah, that's my take on Chelsea. And then finally Tottenham. Jesus Christ, Tottenham. I don't know how are these guys still considered to be in top six. I think we can all agree now that top six is not really about how well your team performs. I think it's about like the top six richest clubs in the Premier League. And then if that's the case, it should be top seven, because Newcastle is technically the richest club. But they escape relegation by the skin of their teeth somehow. This is the second season in a row, by the way, that this is happening to them. And unlike last season, where they finished 16th and won the Europa League, this season they finished 17th. So one place is worse than last season, and no other trophies to show for it. So yeah, but they do have the Zerbi, the former Brighton coach, who I think is a fantastic coach, by the way, and I think he's the reason they went on their spree. I think they won like their last 5 games. They won all those games after not winning. Like up to that point, they had not won a game in the Premier League in 2026. It took De Zerbi coming in for them to win like their last 5 games, which I think is what really kept them up. So I think with what's the name of that guy? I can't remember the name, but the guy who was in charge of the day to day with Tottenham, he's gone now. He got fired. So I think with new management in place, I'm gonna hope that they back De Zerbi and they give him the resources that he needs so he can get the players that he needs, and give him the freedom to run his team the way he sees fit, because I think he's a good coach, and I think he might be the one to not necessarily get Tottenham back to winning ways, because they never used to win, but I think get them back into that contention of like fighting for Champions League, top five, where they are fighting for Champions League spots. So yeah, that's pretty much my take for this season. Um, it's not really much to talk about. I think Barcelona winning the La Liga. I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny because like Real Madrid has bought all these stars and Galacticos and all of this, apparently to be unstoppable. But it seems like the more of them they acquire, the less crucial, or the less not crucial, the less emphatic, I guess is the word that's coming to my mind, the team is. And now they've brought in Mourinho, who I think is actually going to do a horrible job. I think Mourinho is washed. He's not the Mourinho of old that could look a player down and like dominate him with will nominate that player with his mind. This is Mourinho that's like, he has grandkids now. He's like eating a lot of eba and shit. Like, he's matured now. Like, I don't really know how to say it, but like, I don't think that signing is gonna work in their favor. But what do I know? Barcelona has won La Liga twice, and in the last 3 seasons, Real Madrid has struggled to get out of the round of 16, not even quarterfinals. They've struggled to get out of the round of 16 of the Champions League. So, and this is a team that won what I think they have 14 Champions League titles, and they won like three of them back to back. So, hey, and maybe there's something to say for the fact that Mbappe joining this team. I know it's a bit far fetched, but I think there's something to say for it because it seems like now that he's no longer at PSG, the crop of players are more gelled. It's not really focused on the superstar boy at the top of the field that everybody has to cater to, and they just won their second Champions League trophy. Like the only other team other than Real Madrid that has defended their Champions League title. So I don't know, but they'll sort themselves out. They're the richest club in the world. They'll be fine. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Like I said, I didn't want it to be long, and it's already 20 minutes. So you guys have a good day. Comment down below what team you support and what do you think of their performance this season. Do you think it could have been better? What changes do you want to see? You want a different coach? You want your club to commit to buying more players, better players? What your overall thoughts of the Premier League this season was like? Do you think it's because let's not forget this season's Premier League, we finally got a team that got promoted from the Championship, and out of the three teams, one of them, not only did they not get relegated again, they actually qualified for the Conference League. So this season has already broken a lot of records in that regard. And finally, of course, Arsenal winning the league. So what's your rating? What do you think? How much more intense do you think this season was compared to previous seasons? So yeah, just leave your comments down below, and of course subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
New videos uploaded every week. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy the journey.